is the situation on the ground in Turkey?
Very, very serious. So many provinces were, let's say, affected because of this very large tremor. Unfortunately, we've been hearing some new reports of deaths and injuries, and this is very situation. I mean, situation is very serious in Turkey. Yeah.
And we know it's a serious situation. And are major cities such as Istanbul or Ankara also at risk?
Not really because of this earthquake. I mean, but they are at risk because of the other faults of the Turkey. The North Anatolian fault, let's say the unruptured segments or the seismic gaps of the North Anatolian fault is very near to the Istanbul, and there are also some unknown faults, let's say some faults with unknown behaviors are very near to Ankara, but they have their own risks. There is no stress transfer or something like that between these earthquakes and their future earthquakes.
Now, this is not the first massive earthquake that Turkey has faced. Why is it so devastating this time?
I mean, Turkey has so many devastated earthquakes in the last century. 80,000 of our citizens died because of the earthquakes. I mean, the report says that in the last century. And unfortunately, let's say, our memories are not going very back. But unfortunately, there has been so many damages and deaths because of the earthquakes. So this is not very, let's say, until now, we don't see the damage that occurred in the 1999 earthquakes. During the 1999 earthquakes, as maybe you know, approximately 17,000 people died. And there is also another Erzincan earthquake at 1939, 15,000 people died in one earthquake. Unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, we didn't get that much of deaths because of these earthquakes, but unfortunately, the damage and the number of the dead people can be rising, unfortunately. Yeah.
And do you have any relatives or friends who have been affected by the quake? How worried are people about further tremors or aftershocks?
We very much, let's say, alert because of these very large tremors. And my relatives are okay, fortunately, but some of my friends report very bad news. And some colleagues, some houses of the colleagues just collapsed in Antakya and in Kahramanmaraş. We've been hearing that. But anyway, these are not my relatives, but our citizens are in danger, unfortunately, and also our citizens, some of our citizens are under the damaged buildings, and that's very sad for us. Yeah.
And as of right now, how are regional emergency services handling the situation?
I mean, in terms of search and rescue, Turkey is very ready, and AFAD is very well experienced. But the thing is, we just called a fourth level calling. That means we are awaiting some other search and rescue teams from all around the world, because the number of the damaged areas or the provinces are very high. That's why I'm afraid maybe our teams are not be enough, but we will see that hopefully the operations will be going on very well and very fast.
And is it possible to prepare for such events beforehand? What should be done to avoid for future risk?
I mean, it's not that hard to be prepared, but it needs some scientific research, such as seismic risk and hazard analysis. We can analyze the future hazards for the future modeled earthquakes. But very important, let's say, very well-focused engineering studies must be held. Unfortunately, that's our weak part in Turkey. And the governmental organizations, we are pushing the governmental organizations to to give money for this kind of, to give research money for this kind of research to be ready. And we have to do, after we do this analysis, we have to, let's say, modify our cities using this analysis. I think we need to do this kind of research more, and it's not that hard, but it's time consuming, and it's actually money consuming, let's say. But we need to do that. Yeah.
Kenan Akbayram, Director of Center for Energy, the Environment, and Natural Disasters at the University of Bengal. Thank you for that comprehensive report.
You're welcome.
Aftershocks could be